Make your night extra special and dine out in the delicious Dobbins restaurant at Shelburne Park. 4-course luxury dining starting from under €30 midweek. It's great food, it's great views, and most important of all, it's great action on the track. Hello and welcome to the Irish Ground Weekly Preview Show with me, Mick Livesey, and Daniel Monk. So folks, it's down to the quarter-finals of the 2010 Ladbrokes.com Irish Greyhound Derby, and we are now certainly at the business end, with the final 24 greyhounds going into action on Saturday night. Now we will of course be rounding off with our six-pack, and for those of you who have been following, we hope you have made some money, as we are already in over 50% winning margin to date. So let's get straight down to business with Shelburne Park on Saturday night, which features of course the Derby quarter-finals, but also eats of the Derby Plate, which has now moved to Saturday night and will be running with the Derby. A couple of interesting eats in the Plate. Eat 3 of the Plate looks an intriguing affair, with the likes of Skywalker Queen, Ned from Donard and Westmead Bolt in action, and should draw interest with these three, who all ran with distinction in this year's Derby. Selections here will be 4, 5 and 1. Ballymac Miss here also warrants respect in that heat. Heat 4 of the Plate also features the American heavyweight Kiara Myth, who is looking to make it a rare double by taking the Derby Plate 2 years running, and we will be following Kiara Myth with interest on the preview, but he will face opposition from St. Louis Spirit, who looked back to his best when winning last week in 29.90 and will be a leading player. Selections here are 6, 2 and 3. Congratulations to Thomas Bocking from Hull, who won our competition. 2 tickets for the brilliant Ladbrokes.com Irish Ground Derby final will be sent out to you straight away. Well done, Thomas. We hope you have a fantastic night. Thank you for entering and thank you for supporting us. We move on to the main attraction of the night, the 2010 Ladbrokes.com Irish Derby quarter-finals. And here, in Heat 1, we have an intriguing heat to watch. We have Colourful Champ, Tyra Hender, Monolith Alsatian and Barefoot Bullet. Unfortunately, at this stage we are going to say goodbye to some extremely talented greyhounds. Tyra Hender looks a leading fancy to lead early on. He has great early pace and he should set this early gallop. Colourful Champ ran well behind the flying Tyra Big Mike last week and will be well in the mix on Saturday night. Barefoot Bullet flew home to land his heat win in 29.68 and will be a real danger if in touch at the halfway stage. Finally, we have Monolith Alsatian, who is the internet talking dog and will be attracting much support on the forums. It looks in solid form when winning in 29.74 and makes this heat a real danger for all involved. Selections here are 3, 1 and 6. Heat 2 is what looks a slightly open affair, but at this stage no heat will be easy. And we have Freedom Seacrest as one of the only 3 bitches left in this year's event, and she is joined by Thurler's Derby Trial State winner Foyle Storm, who has been running fantastic. And like we said in the opening preview, what price a Trial State winner to lift the trophy? She's getting closer now as she's in the final 24. Tyler McGuigan makes up one of the 4 strong Tyra team in the quarter-finals and looks to be coming onto form when winning his heat in 29.84. You can't rule out Krug 95 and Razzle Dazzle Lord are also dogs who require much respect and will be dangerous to all in this field. But here our selections will be 2, 6 and 5. Heat 3 can only be described as the heat of death, in which we see the Derby favourite Tyra Big Mike and English Derby winner Kinda Ready do battle in this year's Derby. Tyra Big Mike simply blistered around Shelburne Park last week and recorded an unbelievable 29.42 and is the leading hope here, but can't afford any mistakes in this heat. The biggest surprise of this year's Derby has to be the return of form of Kinda Ready, who is looking simply super and is drawn to perfection in Trap 1 as he is the only inside seed in this heat. Thurler's Beg Joker has been consistent on his qualifying and is the only Owen McKenna runner left in this year's Derby and looks hard to rule out, but will need to start picking up on his form to make sure of his semi-final place. Macedo Blue is a flying trapper and held off the challenge of Westmead Grant in last week's battle, but may struggle in Trap 5 this time, but has to be respected and will be in the mix early on. Westmead Grant will look to bounce back from his injury concerns from last week. Selections here are very difficult, but we will go with 2, 1 and 3. In the final quarter-final, we see back in form Definite Opinion in action, and he's one who looks to be coming back to his best after his early round blip and looks to be a leading bet to make the final. Tullimore React is back to his big talking best and will be the leading danger in this heat, and certainly the Buckley Kennel will be excited by the way this fella is returning to his best and certainly setting the forums alight with his return to form. That's My Boy looked in fine form when winning last week and showed himself as another danger as he is coming into form at just the right time. Selections here are 2, 3 and 4. Myself and Daniel would like to wish all this week's runners all the best, and of course we have our fingers crossed and hope you all come back safe and sound. I'm sure everyone who attends Shelburne Park on Saturday night will have a fantastic time. We have something extra for you on this week's preview, where we're going to have a look at Sunday afternoon's meeting at Thurles, where the Thurles Track Supporters Club is holding its first Sunday matinee meeting and has some super racing on offer for patrons, where admission on Sunday will only be €5 and there will be lots for the family to enjoy on the day. The main race on the card is the John Corbett A3 525, and we'll see the very impressive Lugill Sura, who looked exceptional last week when winning her semi-final in 29.26 after missing her break. This lady certainly looks one for the Oaks and various other big stakes over the coming year. She will face opposition from the banging form kennel of Anne Wade, who sends out Enchantress, who will warrant lots of respect from her trap-free draw, and the very well-bred Bandicoot Molly will provide for a very special race. Selections here are 1, 3 and 2. The card on Sunday also features semi-finals of the Trade Veterinary Open Puppy 525, where we see some very nice pups in action. In the first semi, we have Corrie Plate winner Fast Fit Tiger, who will be looking to continue his impressive form this Sunday, but we see Magical Aussie and Dream Walker his main opposition in this event. The second semi sees Casco One race champion Judicial Academy back in Thurles and will take all the beating on his return. Bright Starter and Born a Claw will be the main dangers in this second semi. We would encourage you all to head down to Thurles this Sunday afternoon, where we get on with some great racing and also have lots of fun for all the family, from mum and dad to all the children. You will have a fantastic time. Get to Thurles this Sunday. Okay folks, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Daniel and Mick's Six Pack. And while the investigation into the body of the Six Pack continues, one thing is for sure, we will try and give you yet more winners this week. We have been banging form so far. Number 1, Lugill Sura to win at Thurles on Sunday is our nap. Number 2, Definite Opinion to win his quarter-final on Saturday night, our next best. Number 3, Tullimore React each way in his quarter-final. Number 4, Kinda Ready each way in his quarter-final. Number 5, Freedom Seacrest each way in the second quarter-final on Saturday. And number 6, finally, is Tyra Ender each way in the opening quarter-final at Shelburne Park. Best of luck to all the followers of the Irish Preview from myself and Daniel, and we look forward to you joining us again next week. Come and join us on our Facebook page. Just type in Dan and Mick's Greyhound Preview. There's going to be details of a competition on there where we're going to give away yet another 2 tickets for the Ladbrokes.com Irish Greyhound Derby final. And one last thing, it's on all the forums, it's everywhere. Please support Sarah Monk, who's going to run for the Lincolnshire Greyhound Trust in the 10k race at Aberystwyth in December. Please pledge an amount, give generously. Let's send Sarah off in style on her 10k race and try and raise loads of money for this great charity. Okay, thank you, and we'll see you next week.